water.
I saw that.
I filmed it. Good morning. It is a beautiful, lightly cloudy day, mostly blue, on Lake Lavier. We had a lovely, relaxing evening, had a few whiskeys. Woke up this morning, everybody slept well last night, so we've got some rested and refreshed people. There's virtually no wind at all, so we were potentially going to move site if the wind shifted back out of the west, but right now there's just no reason to move camp. Despite the fact that we have no wind, our campsite is virtually bug free, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Technically these campsites are considered Crow Bay, not Lavier, which means I'm going to go home from this trip still not having a pin in Lavier. It's my second time camping on Crow Bay, but never having actually spent a night on Lavier. But I'm not going to... A, we're all feeling kind of lazy, and taking down camp is beyond us right now. But B, you know, I love getting new pins in my map, but doing it at the expense of passing up a beautiful campsite for a question mark doesn't seem to make any sense. So we're out on the water, and we're just gonna go and check out the campsite that I was aiming for, and then we're gonna head to the north part of Lavier to the portage to Farncombe. Check out the spot of the former ranger cabin, see if there's anything there. Maybe do the portage into Farncombe and check it out. There's also a bit of a beach over there, so we'll probably go for a swim. Check it out. Nice big beautiful beach all to ourselves. And now we're hungry, so we're going back. The only thing we're going to have to worry about eventually is we're going to start getting water running down the slope on us. So our butts are going to get wet, but there are worse problems to have. Gentlemen, what do you think?
Hey, not camping without a rainstorm.
So this came out of absolute nowhere. 1 minute we were swimming and being lazy and sleeping, and the next minute the wind really started to pick up, and Paul kind of said something that made me actually start paying attention to what was coming, and we just kind of scrambled to put stuff away that can't get wet, and we got the bug net down so it didn't get soaked, and I thought maybe we'd have lots of time to set up a tarp. Instead we had about 12 seconds. But with all three people kind of scrambling around and getting a bit wet, we managed to get it up just enough. All it's going to take is one peg to let loose and we're all soaked. But so far so good. So we're about 5 minutes into a pretty heavy storm. So far no one's dead. There was a big strike coming. We've seen some strikes pretty close, like out on the lake, and there was one especially that the crack was intensely loud. It's rained ferociously in the last 10 minutes or so, like ferociously. It's died off just a bit now. The wind is less, but the lightning's still coming like crazy. Another strike out there just happened, so thunder's coming. So the good news is, if there is any, is that all the strikes we're seeing now are out on the lake, downwind from us, so it may mean that the worst of this is passed over. I got a forecast this morning using my inReach, and it gave me 30% chance. I mean, I know 30's not zero, but I really wasn't expecting to see this today. It's pretty cool.
What's that crazy wind doing?
He's fishing! What else are you gonna do? Well, Lucas went and fetched the alcohol, so we are now all partaking.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Ching.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers for first Algonquin.
We're cheersing being alive, I think, as much as anything. But that was pretty cool. That was a neat experience. The only thing that we need a bit of to make sure they've experienced everything in Algonquin now is some snow.
And a moose. And a moose.
And a moose. We haven't seen a moose. The way that it will work, and I'll tell you now, we'll see no moose on the trip, and on the drive out there'll be one on the Highway 60 corridor. That's what's going to happen. So the storm is mostly past. It is still raining. It's actually picking up a bit as I'm talking, as you can see. And I'm using my non-waterproof camera. I have 3 cameras, 2 of which are waterproof, and I'm using the one that isn't. Go figure. Yeah, the storm has passed for the most part. And everything's fine, everybody's fine, but they got a bit of water leakage in their tent. Nothing major, got wet, so they're taking care of that now. I've put some water on to boil, and we're gonna have something to eat. If it keeps raining, I'm gonna maybe move the stove back under the tarp though. Anyway, since it started raining again, I'm going to stop filming for now, but it's it's been an interesting day in the park. So it isn't even 7 p.m. and we're all in our tents already and have been for, I don't know, maybe half an hour. Yeah, we're all, I don't think anybody's in a big hurry to go to bed, but we were all happy after today and the storm and everything else that we've done to crawl into our tents and, you know, be low key. So I'm just reading and relaxing. I don't feel sleepy at all. But tomorrow, just in case it's windy, we like to get an early start because we have big water to paddle tomorrow. We've got Lavier and then Dixon. And the sooner we can get started, the less likely we are to get into to bad conditions. So the destination tomorrow is Little Dixon, which is the only lake on this trip that I actually haven't been to before. We can't stand Dixon. It's closed due to blue-green algae, so Little Dixon seemed like the logical, if not only, option. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing a part of the park I haven't been to before, and we'll see what tomorrow brings. That's it for today. Good morning. It is day 4 of our camping trip, and it's been really good. It's been really nice. We just pulled off our Lavier campsite. It's just 2 or 3 minutes behind me here. Or actually, technically, it's a Crow Bay campsite, but it looks out onto Lavier. So we're working our way down through Lavier, the 90-meter portage into Dixon, paddling all of Dixon, Cisco Bay, and the 890 into Little Dixon. In theory, anyways. I say in theory because a couple days ago, Lucas tweaked one of his ankles on a portage, and then shortly afterwards tweaked it a second time, and he's still feeling it. So we're going to use this little 90-meter portage as kind of a litmus test as to how he's doing. No matter what, we have to do the Dixon-bonfield portage. It's the only reasonable way out of here, and that's a long carry on a bum ankle. But if his ankle is questionable, then we'll be doing it today. And I know that may sound counterintuitive, but tomorrow we have a water taxi to catch at 2:30. And if I need to carry my gear across and then come back for the canoe, that's a 16.5 kilometer portage at that point, and I would be hard pressed to get that done in time for the water taxi, I think. So today, if we do it, well, we have all day. You know, if we don't get out to the east arm of Obiongo until 8 o'clock tonight, fine, whatever. We'll set up camp on the east arm, have a lazy day tomorrow, wait for our pickup. So there'd be less stress about it today than there will be tomorrow. verdict is in and we carry on with the trip as planned. Picked out the portage marker for Little Dixon, so which I can't find now. it's somewhere over here anyways. Do you still see it? Well, I got a little lazy slash stupid on the takeout at Little Dixon. While Paul and Lucas were gracefully exiting their canoe, I was rolling my kayak and dumping into blue-green algae water. So I am now soaked in water you're not supposed to go in. And, well, I have. So, in case you're wondering, blue-green algae is not immediately fatal. But we're going to carry on, we're going to get over to Little Dixon, and then I'm going for a swim to rinse off. Guys, I don't really have another way to do that before then, so 900 meters, we'll probably stop for a break because there's no reason to kill ourselves, and we'll see you at the other side. Welcome to our Little Dixon campsite. So it's about 300 degrees of water view. It's the peninsula site quite near the 890 portage that we'll be taking back out of here. It's nice. I mean, it's open enough. The island site was very dark and gloomy with trees coating the water line in all directions. You just wouldn't be able to see anything. The other site up near it was the worst of them all. This is definitely the best choice on the lake. Two okay tent pads. We both had to get a little. We both had my tent squeezed in with about an inch to spare on one side of a tree. They kept twisting and turning and adjusting theirs to try and find a spot where both of them had reasonable comfort. So you wouldn't be coming here with a party. But yeah, it was a long paddle day. Paddling Lavier seemed pretty quick. Paddling Dixon seemed to take a very long time. I mean, it was a long paddle, especially since we paddled all of Dixon and then back up into Cisco Bay. But it didn't help that I thought we were further down the lake than we were, and then finally realized my mistake, and suddenly we had so much further to go. So, mind games as much as anything, I suppose. would be my last campsite video of this trip. We're on Little Dixon. It's around 7:15, and we've had another good day. It's been a very relaxing afternoon on this site. We just kind of lied around and read and listened to music and ate a couple of times. And everyone's ready to crawl into the tents early and get a good night's sleep and wake up early and get a good early start tomorrow. We've got to paddle Cisco Bay and a good chunk of Dixon, and we'd rather do it before the wind gets up. So the plan is to get up and go and to have breakfast when we get to the start of the Dixon-bonfield, and go from there. So it's been a wonderful 4 days in the park. It's about to have been a wonderful 5 days in the park. But tomorrow is 7K of portaging, so we'll see how that goes. It's been wonderful. It's been another relaxing, enjoyable trip. See you in the morning. Good morning. It is 5:45 on our last day in the park. And the plan remains, get up and go. Welcome to the start of the Dixon-bonfield. We have only 5.5 kilometers to go. Oh, wait, we walked up 20 meters from the water line, so 5,480 meters to go.
Wow, that was epic.
One push down, many to go. So Lucas kicked ass with the first push. I did that little video thing at the start, so they had a good head start on me. So Lucas was leading the way and Paul was following, and I just kept walking and walking and walking, thinking, holy crap, when's he gonna stop? And we got past the where the cart trail, or I got past where the cart trail diverges. I'd caught Paul by that point, but Lucas was still nowhere in sight, and I was worried that he'd maybe gone onto the cart trail. So not long afterwards, I put down my kayak and yelled his name. Unfortunately, he heard me, and he was going the right way. I've only done this portage once before, and it was with a canoe. Well, because I was sharing a canoe, I don't even remember if I was carrying it. But my only time through Lavier and Dixon before was in a canoe. So this is my first time doing the Dixon-bonfield with my kayak. I'm guessing not a lot of kayaks come over here except probably by the cart trail.
I'd have a hard time doing that.
We are more than halfway there. You should be ecstatic.
I am happy about that.
You guys have kicked ass and taken names so far on this portage. All right, this is push number 3. I feel good. Na, 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 na. I knew that I wouldn't, yeah. Na, 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 na. I feel good. I knew that I wouldn't, yeah. So good, so good. I got you. Dun, dun, dun. Hello, Bonfield Lake. You! And there you have it. Dixon-bonfield at our feet. We're pulling up to the 285 out of right into the East Arm. So this is it. We're done paddling since we're taking a water taxi back, and this is the last portage. And here they come. The final few steps of the trip. The end is nigh. Welcome to the East Arm, gentlemen. So that pretty much does it. We are at the East Arm. So we're actually here hours early. So I'm gonna take advantage of my inReach and message my wife and see if we can get an earlier pickup. But if not, we'll suffer with having to relax and go swimming. Either way, I think we'll call it a trip. Till next time.